So in this room, I think it is safe to say that you all know how I feel about creativity. I've spent a long time telling you that you're creative. You don't always believe me, and it made me wonder, is that just a feeling I have, or can I support that? Do other people believe that too, that we are all creative? I was a little afraid to look it up just in case I was wrong, but it turned out there's a lot of evidence out there to support this idea that we are all creative. The Creative Journal actually says, based on the fundamental premise that creativity is in large part a decision that anyone can make, but few people actually do because they find the cost to be too high. So that seems harsh to me, but it shows that creativity requires effort. And they also said in the journal that it can be improved upon. So why don't we look at a few examples and decide whether or not they're creative. They're examples of creativity. So I have a movie, Star Wars. What do you guys think? Is this an example of creativity?
Yes.
You think so? Okay. How about this warehouse? I think a warehouse is creative. It doesn't appear to be very creative. It's pretty square and straight. How about my journal? Or not my journal, my calendar, my day planner.
Yes.
Is creative? I think by the end of this talk, we'll see why. We'll see why it is creative. And to do that, we need to think about what is creativity. So we start with the word create, and that means to make something out of nothing. Andy Mineo's song Ex Nihilo talks about how God created all of this that we can see, the whole world, out of nothing. We don't create out of nothing. We create based on ideas and things we see around us. We don't start out with nothing, but we do take what we have and we put it together in a new way for a new purpose. So let's come up with a working definition. So I was thinking that if creativity is a decision, we can say that creativity is the decision to take what we already have, put it together in a new way to serve a purpose. So what are the purposes of creativity? I thought of a couple different ones. I believe that there are a range of purposes of creativity. We're just going to look at 3. The first purpose is to communicate a thought or an idea or an emotion. You can use my paintings in this room as an example. They show ideas that I had. I went to a museum and I saw flowers, and so I created a flower painting based on what I had seen at the museum. And it was in appreciation for what the soldiers had done in World War II, and it made me think about that. I had such deep appreciation. I wanted to express that emotion. The other thing that creativity does is solve a problem. Think about what it would be like if we didn't have light bulbs. That would be a serious problem. Every time the sun would go down, you would either have to have a fire or a candle or an oil lamp. So thankfully, Thomas Edison used his creativity to solve that problem, and now we have light bulbs. The third thing that creativity does is it entertains us. So every time you're outside playing superheroes, does that entertain you? Yeah, that's creativity at work. How about when you watch a show on Netflix? Is that entertaining?
Yes.
Most of the time it is. And when you read your comic books, those are entertaining too. So we can look back at our items, but I have a thought. Before, we kind of had this idea that creativity really was only paintings and drawings. That's an awfully tiny box that we can put creativity in. We should blow that box up, because creativity does what? What do we talk about? It solves a problem, it entertains, it communicates ideas. What do you think about my planner? Which one of those does that fall under?
It solves a problem.
It does solve a problem. Absolutely. How about the movie?
Entertainment.
For sure. Do you think it communicates any ideas? Good versus evil, maybe? But it's certainly entertaining. How about the warehouse? What does it do? It solves a problem, for sure. And then we looked at my paintings, we talked about how they communicate. So I hope that you'll see that you are creative, and it doesn't have to be through painting or drawing, but you can be creative and you can grow in that capacity by learning more, experiencing, and using those ideas to make something new. Thank you.